Joining me now is Calum Best, whose footballer father, George Best, died from alcohol-related issues in 2005, and from Bristol, Josh Connolly, who was a recovering alcoholic and a father to 4 children. Calum Best, when did you become aware, do you think, as a child, of your dad's drinking?
Oh, in hindsight, you look back and you remember some times. You know, I remember some awkward characteristic traits at about 8, 9 years old. I remember being 12, 13, you know, I'd fly over from Los Angeles and I'd end up in the pub from 8 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock at night. When you look back at it, you start looking at those traits and you realize to yourself, oh, those are traits of an alcoholic dependent. But at the time, you don't really realize what's going on. Only through your teen years and people explaining to you more about what the problem is and what the alcohol dependency consists of, you start to understand more and understand that it is your parent that's dealing with it.
What do you think it did to you?
Where do I start? I mean, at a young age, caused me a lot of insecurities, caused me a lot of anger, caused me a lot of confusion, embarrassment, not knowing really where to turn to who to talk to. You know, at a young age, you keep those kind of things in, and if you keep those things in throughout your later years in life, they affect you even more so. That's what I'm finding out now, and I find out what's so important now is that you have to be able to talk about that, and that's why it's so important to be able to spread the charity like NACOA and let people know that there are anonymous helplines that people can call up and talk about, because a lot of people are embarrassed to do so.
Are you angry about it now?
For me personally, I can't be angry about it because I lost my dad. I have to so many ways look back and think about the good memories, but I'm angry about what could have been. Just like that, what that lovely girl said there, you're confused. Even that when they said to you, still love your mom, and she says she doesn't know, you think, well, that's the effect that it has, you know? I'm not angry. I'm upset that the demon that was alcohol dependency took over my dad's life and ruined our relationship, but I'm very blessed to be my dad's son. I'm very proud of him at the same time.
Josh Connolly, what effect do you think your drinking has had on your children?
I think it's probably hard to tell where my children are still quite young, and I have stopped drinking for like 4 years now. So we do talk about it, me and my children, but it's hard to tell, because I think if there has been an effect, it may be more noticeable as they start to grow up.
So how do you feel about your own past behaviour now? Obviously, I feel ashamed of the way, you know, the way I drank and the things that I did when I was drinking. But I feel grateful for the second chance that I've got, and the fact that I am able to live differently today. There was one of those graphics in the campaign about how the children of alcoholics are so much more likely to become alcoholics themselves. How does that affect you?
Well, I'm the child of an alcoholic as well. So my father died when I was around 8 or 9 years old. So I had all these feelings that we've just been listening to myself growing up. And for me, I always sought escape through alcohol. And you know, it started to cause problems for me probably, you know, when I started to have more consequences from my drinking. You know, when my children were born and I had to start being a father, drink prevented me from being able to do that properly, you know?
I think what's great, Josh, I think it's great what you're doing now, and I think the key message that Josh just said there, that's such a simple one, is that he's talking to his kids about it now. They might be too young, but there's still communication that some people lack or don't know where to go to, where to talk about it. Sometimes it's not easy to talk to your parent about it. I struggled with it, but as long as Josh and I can spread the word that there are places to go and talk about it, that will be a key factor for anybody dealing with this problem as well.
Where do the children go?
NACOA is a perfect example. I've been working with them for 7 years now. I met him when I was 25 years old, a year after my dad died, when I was in a dark place, following the same kind of road that Josh followed as well. My dad died from alcoholism. I turned to the bottle as well. Some people might think it's a weak excuse, but it was my coping mechanism as well. Luckily, I saved myself from it, as he has as well. And now it's just, I feel like if I have this platform to do so, it's my duty to kind of spread the word and let people know there are places out there that can help, because a key factor is letting people know they're not alone.
Josh, how do you think we need to think about drinking, though, as a society? I mean, we often have a sort of an all-or-nothing approach to it. You know, you either drink or you don't, and if you drink, it might be a problem.
Yeah, I think firstly, we need to get rid of the stigma around drinking. I mean, for me, my problem wasn't always necessarily the drinking. It was the way I felt when I was sober, and so the need for me to drink. I think we need to get away from looking at drinking as just being bad and trying to
get children to open up early, you know, and to look at the reasons why they're drinking, and for it to be okay to talk about these feelings, you know. I think possibly the reason I've been able to have a new life is from a very young age. My mum always told me about this illness, and she was, you know, she always expressed that if I ever got to the point where I struggled, then I would have to get help, and I think that's probably saved my life, arguably.
Josh Connolly, Calum, thank you both very much.
Thank you.